Welcome back to Shakesyear. We are working on Henry VI Part 3, and today we get to hear from the Earl of Warwick from the end of Act 2, Scene 6. So a quick little recap of things. The War of the Roses is still raging. King Henry had disinherited his son, so the Queen is sort of fighting him at the same time that the Yorkist party is sort of fighting him. And let's see, the Duke of York is dead. His head is on a pike outside the town of York. Rutland is dead at Clifford's hand. The Duke is dead at Clifford and the Queen's hands. So yeah, lots of chaos happening. And the start of Act 2, Scene 6, Clifford comes in with an arrow in his neck, which was presumably shot there by Richard, because Richard had previously been like, you know, this one's mine, and goes running off after him because they had had a little skirmish. So Clifford comes in with this arrow in his neck, and he bemoans the fact that he has to die now, and he sort of keels over at this when Warwick and George and Edward and Richard come in, and they see him because they hear him sort of like give a death moan, and they don't know if he's quite dead yet, so they start mocking him. He actually dies about 2 sentences into them mocking him, but they keep mocking because they don't realize that he's dead. And they're like, come on, you should, like, where's your army now? Like, you're such a tough guy. Well, how come you're not being a tough guy now? Blah, blah, blah. Until finally they're like, yeah, you must be dead, because if you weren't dead, then you'd be fighting back and we'd have to put you in your place, and yada, yada. And the Earl of Warwick says, aye, but he's dead. Off with the traitor's head, and rear it in the place your father stands. And now to London, with triumphant march, there to be crowned England's royal king. From whence shall Warwick cut the sea to France, and ask the Lady Bona for thy queen. So shalt thou sinew both these lands together, and having France thy friend, thou shalt not dread the scattered foe that hopes to rise again. For though they cannot greatly sting to hurt, yet look to have them buzz to offend thine ears. First will I see the coronation, then to Brittany I'll cross the sea to effect this marriage, so it please my lord. So they're making plans for Edward to be king, because they think that Edward gets to be king now, and Warwick is like, I'm gonna go get a lady from France for you to marry, so then England and France will be tied together, and you'll get the French territories back that were lost back in Henry VI Part 1. Yeah, and Edward's like, okay, sounds good, sounds like a plan. And when we get there and we get to that point, Richard, you're going to be the Duke of Gloucester, and George, you're going to be the Duke of Clarence. And Richard's like, can we swap that around, because Gloucesters seem to be mortally doomed? And Edward is like, no, just shut your pie hole. You're going to be the Duke of Gloucester. And then Act 2 ends, and tomorrow we get into Act 3. I will see you then for that. Mwah.